So ProveX, a dummy's guide. So what's the underlying concept? In short, it's a peer-to-peer exchange platform. One party is willing to part with fiat and receive crypto. The other party is willing to sell crypto for fiat, obviously. For you to be able to buy USDC on Pulse Chain or Base from your fiat source of choice, Venmo, PayPal, someone needs to be willing to sell you their USDC and receive the fiat on that same platform. Unlike a centralized exchange, however, there's no trust required. The only thing between you and the other party is a series of smart contracts. It turns normal payment apps, Venmo, Cash App, Wise, Revolut, into trustless on-off ramps using zero knowledge proof. How does it actually work? Liquidity provider, the seller posts an offer. They lock USDC into a smart contract escrow. The buyer chooses that offer and starts the order. The buyer sends fiat normally, opens Venmo, sends the exact amount, yada, yada. Buyer proves the payment happened without showing personal details, which is key, obviously, using a browser extension called Peer Auth. So that's actually the technology that this is all built on. And then, Richard, of course, first named this thing Mr. Prove, which I'll say prefer it actually to ProveX, but that's just me. Yeah. I also work at Burger King, so what are you going to do? The extension securely reads your payment app's webpage API. It generates a zero knowledge proof that says a payment of exactly whatever, $102 was sent to the seller at that time, date, all that stuff. The buyer submits only the ZK proof to the smart contract. Nothing sensitive goes on chain. No names, no bank numbers, no screenshots, no emails. Smart contract verifies the proof. If valid, automatically releases the locked USDC to the buyer. That's pretty awesome. So that's how that actually works. Now, this is interesting, and this is what you were getting into, is who determines the price and the rate. So this is where things get interesting. It's not like DEX pricing, where bigger orders get worse rates due to AMM pools. You're buying into a specific amount of liquidity provided by a seller at a price they set. You can only buy the amount of USDC that's been made available by the sellers, and those sellers can list it for whatever price they wish. If they want to list 100 USDC for 90 per token, 90 cents, they can. If they want to list 90,000 USDC for $10 a token, they can. It's up to the buyer to determine what they're comfortable to pay. Let's look at a specific example. So you are the buyer, might have $100 in Venmo that you want to use to buy USDC on Pulse Chain. Another user has the same USDC they want to sell on Pulse Chain, and in turn, they'll receive the fiat in their Venmo. They've made at least $100 available to buy. The price they're willing to sell that USDC to you is $102. $1.02. This is the quote you see on ProveX. So you would send 100 and you would get just $96.07. So this is kind of like what people were, again, complaining about, like a fee, but again, it's peer-to-peer. So it's not as if the platform is building in a fee or something like that.
Right.
It's not, and I get the wiring like that, because when you're on a DEX, you're looking at slippage and it's like, whoa, what is this? Why am I only getting this much back? Whatever. So they go on to say, if you click the little right arrow on the top right, you'll see more details. Normally, when multiple users are providing liquidity, you'll see a list of quotes that you can choose from. Though it's difficult, it'll default to the best deal. We've included a snapshot of what multiple quotes look like on Peer XYZ, ZKP2P, which is what ProveX is based on. So it'll give you multiple options, it looks like, based on how you want to do the swap. So
here's what it'll look like. Your different quotes for your different prices. Keep in mind, there is an extension, like a Chrome extension or whatever, that you do need to download. I forget it's called the Peer Auth extension that you do have to install. So just keep that part in mind as well.
Yeah. So they say the initial quote on ProveX shows the final value you'll get. It's calculated by 100 USDC divided by 102 per token, 98.03, $98.03, 2% fee. Okay, so there is a 2% fee. Is that accurate then? Because they're actually putting that in there as a separate thing.
Okay, then there is a 2% fee.
Okay. All right. So, but I mean, again,
fee structure is subject to change. So,
right. Okay. Yeah, it's still beta, so I'm not entirely sure about that. But we can go down to what determines the seller price. supply and demand. Sellers are competing to offer the best deal so they can get their orders filled. These sellers trying to get ridiculous prices for their tokens are unlikely to ever have their orders filled. On the flip side, those undercutting the market will get orders filled, but they need to be willing to accept lower prices. Assuming they intend to on-ramp again to provide more liquidity, they may face costs higher than the rate they're providing is able to offset. It's up to both parties. What if you have a large order? Will it be split? Simply no. If you're trying to make an order larger than the biggest individual seller, liquidity on offer, ProveX simply won't provide you with a quote. So if you have, however much money you're spending, you're putting in that is not covered, it's not going to go over multiple sellers at one time in one transaction.
Right.
That would be almost like an aggregator for this. You know what I mean? To find, okay, well, if you want all this, you got to go through here and go through here. It's not going to be like a Pateus DEX aggregator, essentially. So,
which that's not saying that won't be built, right?
Once I started saying that, I was like, that seems interesting. I wonder if somebody could do something about that. Yeah.
Yep.
So, I think this is pretty damn long. I'm just trying to see if there's anything.
It is long. So,
no, not really.
Not too bad. We're right here. So.
We'll do the whole thing. Okay. So choice of an on-ramp platform. Trying to choose between Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, or something else, you'll find that you're limited by the liquidity someone is willing to provide for each of those platforms. So you may not have as many choices as you thought, which might make the choice easier. Currently on ProveX, you can fulfill orders on Venmo and Zelle because that's where the liquidity has been provided. Want to buy using PayPal? Too bad, unless someone decides to provide liquidity for that route. In the example below, one of the people currently beta testing ProveX has put up liquidity for 5 of the possible routes with $500 of USDC available and will accept individual order sizes between 5 and 350 USDC. You'll see that 401.97 of that USDC is currently locked, waiting buyer proofs. If these aren't provided, the seller can cancel the orders, but only before a proof is submitted. So it sounds like in those cases, the buyer has agreed to buy the 401.97, but they have not gone through with like the peer auth stuff yet. Like they haven't submitted their proofs yet. I guess
that's what it sounds like. Yeah,
okay.
They're waiting for it. So
yeah, and they could pull that at any time probably if the buyer continues to delay it. So interesting.
Well, that's saying like just like anybody that puts liquidity, you can pull it at any time. Mm-hmm. Unless somebody's trying to buy it, right? At that point, it does lock it, and they will get their transaction. So keeping, you can always put it up and pull it back as you want. I'm sure there will be a fee for that, just like any, transaction fee. So you don't want to just keep putting liquidity and pulling it back out. That doesn't make any sense. But you can pull it at any time unless somebody has locked into it to take care of it or to buy it.
Makes sense. Go ahead and you can scroll down. Okay, so they say both buyers and sellers are accepting that there's a need to involve normal fiat providers as part of this process. You might find sellers aren't comfortable with certain platforms like PayPal, either due to KYC requirements, risks of payment reversals, or other reasons. That's interesting. How does the fee work? Okay, so this is the fee. At the moment, the contract dictates a 2% fee. This ends up being swallowed by the buyer as they get 2% less than the exchange rate amount. Initially, a 1% buyer and 1% seller fee was said to apply. We're not sure how this would practically work, as it would potentially require the fiat payment platform like Venmo to set aside 1% somewhere, which it can't do. Even if this were possible, someone would have to own the account the fee gets transferred to and periodically on-ramp the balance to buy and burn the ProveX token. As all fees are automatically collected through the smart contract on-chain, the only logical way a fee can apply is to the buyer, though there may be a way to ensure both buyer and seller get a 1% fee rather than all the fees sitting on the buyer. Where are we here? Buyer fee in the contract dropped to 1%. There's an additional methodology to release a bonus 1% from the seller's balance. This may not be possible with the current contract. So the buyer is basically on the hook. Long story short there. So
yeah, for now.
Yeah, for now. Summary: ProveX is a P2P platform, peer-to-peer, and much like its cousin peer-peer, ZK P2P, the limitations all lie with how users behave. If people don't want to provide liquidity, there's nothing to buy. Equally, if buyers don't want to pay the prices they're being quoted, the sellers won't sell anything. It's a market in its purest form, supply and demand. So, yeah, pretty comprehensive view, and I mean, I like it. It's basically what you see is what you get. Basically, I mean, what are your thoughts on this breakdown?
Yeah, I mean, I did not know about the 2% fee, so that would be nice. They're trying to figure out a way that the buyer and seller each pay 1% to make it a little more fair. I think they'll get more use out of it that way. Right now, the seller has the advantage, right? So, how many people will, put several $100 or $1,000 up for sale at 98 cents, right? And then keep doing that over and over. You do that enough, you're gonna profit. So I don't see why people wouldn't provide liquidity for this. Again, bigger holders can, they're usually in it for more. The more transactions that run, the better they're doing. So I don't know. I like it. I think it's going to be great. People like the privacy. People, that's one of the bigger things. We're going back to the roots of crypto, right? Avoid middlemen. This is exactly what this does. And Richard's been all about that from the beginning. Look at Hex. It's the only way to have yield without a middleman. So I think this can definitely help the rest of the ecosystem. Once people realize that what it is and what it does, I only see I only see good things out of this. I don't see any negativity unless there's just not good deals. Somebody's going to have to provide good deals, right? I mean, I realize that Coinbase or Kraken or Crypto.com, they all take a fee. They all take a little bit. So it has to remain competitive with them, if not a little bit better. Now, the privacy is worth a few extra cents, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can do this without having to worry about someone saying, no, you can't. So, right. Yeah, I mean, I think people will pay a little bit of a premium for that, that feature. So,
yeah. I think so too. I mean, and it also, something that just popped into my mind hearing you speak is, sellers liquidity needing to be provided. And I do wonder maybe in the early going, if some entity that wants this to do well may set some things like that up. You know what I mean? I wonder if maybe there will be plenty of liquidity for what are assumed common on ramp attempts. You know what I mean? I could see something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think there will be big entities that are putting, like I said, who wouldn't sell $1 or, for $1
Mm-hmm.
I think there's going to be plenty of people that do that. So, people with enough money that can provide liquidity and make 2 cents on every dollar, it adds up over time. And if you've got enough money to do that with, why not?
Right. Yeah. Plus, you can also, I mean, you don't have to go into stables, right? I mean, you can buy whatever is available. So, I mean, if somebody had Pulse on there or Hex, or if you're going onto a different blockchain or whatever, you can buy whatever is there. It's not like
absolutely
you have to stables,
Yes. And you can go backwards too, right? If people want to offer, the other way around. So you can off ramp as well. This isn't just an on ramp. It works both ways. It's just a matter of people, what they're willing, people are going to be putting money up to buy on the other side. So there's going to be USD there waiting to buy something else. So,
right.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Super Snake agrees with you. I agree with Ewok. Regardless of the overall market reaction to ProveX, it's a win-win for RH and Pulse Chain. I mean, I am with you. I mean, I think this, and again, talking about product market fit, I mean, we had a lot of these quote unquote privacy coins start to pump here earlier this year, like Zcash and things like that.
Yeah.
But it remains to be seen how many privacy platforms there really are in crypto that work as intended. You know what I mean? So here's something. This will be one of them, and it looks like it. So one good thing to look forward to. I mean, look, we are looking for any morsel of positivity right now, and for the beta for this to already be out, something that we were actually right about so far, that we have this coming out a little bit earlier than anticipated, and yeah, we'll see what happens with the token and stuff like that. But exciting things. And if you did sacrifice for it, I mean, whether you did just on your own, or like I know you and I, Ewok, participated in the Fiat Fame Buck and Dylan pool, waiting on getting those tokens, which I will say, Hex Girl, I know it wasn't about this, but you just commenting reminded me of this. I think you said this a couple of weeks ago. So you must have read this. So this must be prevalent enough that this is out there, because I've heard this from multiple people. If you sacrifice for ProveX by sending whatever your tokens were to the ProveX sacrifice address, or however it is that you did it, really, I mean, you either did it that way or you were probably in the pool that Ewok and I were with Buck. But if you just did a regular sacrifice to the sacrifice wallet, there's nothing else that you need to do. Like whenever the token is out, it will be sent to your wallet. There is no NFT that you have to like mint, or some other contract you have to sign or something. So do not fall for any of that. I don't know where you would be going to see that. I don't know if like people on Twitter are saying it. I know in Telegram, like there's people DMing and stuff like that. I mean, you don't do anything. The tokens will be airdropped to you. Just like whenever Pulse Chain came out, if you sacrificed for Pulse and Pulse X, they were in your wallet. Like whenever Pulse came out, they're just there. You add the contract address when the time comes, and the address, and boom, there are your tokens. That's all that happens. So
to reiterate, don't connect to anything.
Right.
So just be careful. Be careful, people. They're sneaky. I don't know if you saw the guys from Pateus, their post about how somebody was trying to engineer key seed phrase out of them by having them, like, they worked the whole angle. If you haven't checked it out, go to Pateus and their page and read the little story about how somebody tried to social engineer them into downloading a file to look at that was it actually made it through some of their virus checks and everything like that. Right. But they had a bad feeling about it, and they were right. It was someone trying to steal their info. So
wow. Yeah, I'll check that out. Yeah, I mean, I think even the smartest, most aware of us can be duped with that kind of thing, because they find ways of infiltrating your everyday life and maybe count on you being in a hurry or something like that. And you cannot be too careful. Pocalypse 1590, thank you for the super chat. Community ever staking Hex 5555. So appreciate you.
That's Apocalypse.
Oh yes, it is. I didn't see the at. Well, yeah. Well, I don't know, because it's at. Because everybody has an at, because that's their name. But yeah, let's go with Apocalypse. That does make sense, but I don't think at is part of the name. You can let us know. I'm going to say Pocalypse. I like that better.